Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the 423. So, Justine Skye is opening up about her experiences with domestic abuse and revealed recently that she was in an abusive relationship. This is absolutely heartbreaking, and for someone who is usually very private about their life, it probably took a lot for her to be so open about something so traumatizing. Throughout the past couple of weeks following the initial video that revealed her own struggles, a lot of new information has come about regarding who it might be that abused her. Domestic abuse is a very serious topic, and I am not trying to make light of anything that happened with her experiences or with anyone else's situation. But I do think that there's value in knowing the evolution of her opinion on the topic since she's had a controversial stance in the past. I also think that getting the word out about alleged, well-known abusers in an effort to help other women avoid the same person can also be useful. So, let's get into this. On October 22nd, Justine posted a music video for her song Build, and it opens with a black screen that reads, "Based on true events." And the video basically shows different scenarios of couples getting into arguments and the men getting physical with their girlfriends. Pushing phones out of their hands, pushing them up against a wall and choking them, and just different horrible images that portray abuse. The video ends with a message saying, "United in the fight against domestic violence." Once the music video was published, Justine posted on Instagram describing her own personal experience with domestic abuse. She wrote, "Recently I've had one of the scariest, heartbreaking experiences in my life. Trying to figure out how someone who claimed they love me so much could find such evil within themselves to hurt me mentally and physically. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm hoping that throughout this video I can motivate whoever else is going through this or worse. You are strong, you are loved, and you deserve so much better." It has been almost a month since the initial release of her video, and since then, Justine has done a couple of interviews about the video and about her struggles during and after being in an abusive relationship. While talking with Billboard, Justine says, "This was my first and hopefully last experience with this. Domestic violence was not a thought for me back then. It just wasn't realistic in my world. I knew abuse was a real issue, obviously. Still, in my world, it was not something that I thought would ever happen to me." And I think that's important for her to admit that because she has had some issues regarding her empathy toward the subject in the past, which I will get into later. So, fast forward a bit, we see Justine taking to Twitter to explain why she isn't publicly outing the identity of the person who abused her, tweeting, "I never said who it was because I knew it wouldn't matter to a lot of you. It's just something for you to talk about today. That's just the reality of it. But I made a video about it in hopes that it can inspire someone else to get away from their abusive partner. That was my goal." But regardless of her not explicitly saying names, Justine is liking some tweets that do strongly suggest who her abuser is, and that would be Sheck Wes. The one that most obviously proves this theory is a tweet Justine likes that says, "Isn't this the same dude who beat up Justine Skye?" And it's a reply to a photo of Sheck Wes. Another is a tweet that she liked that says, "Yep, girl, it's probably tough as hell for her to watch her abuser's star rise the way his has recently. Fuck him." And if you scroll through the conversation, it starts a few tweets back with the same girl mentioning Sheck Wes by name. Now, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I cannot find any evidence on Justine and Sheck having dated in the past. I don't know how people came to that conclusion. I've never seen their names linked before this, and I still cannot find any pictures of them together. And believe me, I have looked at every piece of evidence on the internet. The only connection I know of between them is that Sheck Wes is signed to Travis Scott's label, and obviously Travis is with Kylie Jenner now, but prior to that he was dating Justine. And there were a bunch of reports when Kylie and Travis first got together that she stole him from her then friend Justine Skye. Circles, or at least used to. And throughout all of this, Justine has mentioned that this situation taught her a lot, not only about herself, but about her friends. She says in her IG post about her music video, "Learned a lot about the people I chose to call my friends." This could be referring to Travis and or Kylie, since, like I said, Travis still associates with Sheck Wes and Kylie is still with Travis. But like I said, prior to her liking tweets about her abusive ex being Sheck Wes, I cannot for the life of me figure out how anyone initially came to that conclusion to tweet it out. However, the friend's comment could also be referring to her past when she was known to defend actual abusers because they were her friends. Back in 2016 and multiple times since then, Justine Skye's then very good friend Ian Connor was publicly accused of rape. In this specific instance, Malika Anderson claimed in a blog post that she was raped by the 22-year-old hip-hop stylist 2 years prior and decided to talk about it publicly because her case was closed due to lack of evidence. Here's an excerpt from her post talking about the incident. It's pretty lengthy because she goes in depth about her experience, but to summarize, they were hanging out when Ian asked to perform oral sex on Malika. She declined multiple times, then eventually gave in after what she describes as begging. He was behind her while she laid on her stomach, and after about 2 minutes, she felt his bare penis go inside of her. She says she pushed him off and told him that she said she didn't want to have sex, to which he asked, "So you trying to say I raped you?" And she said she didn't know and was just processing the whole experience, so he ended up leaving. This is where Justine comes in. Everyone on Twitter had a field day with this and were obviously going in on Ian Connor following these horrible allegations, which is when Skye decided to put in her 2 cents and defend her friend. She tweeted, "Trying to tarnish someone's name and lying for a quick come-up is never cool or funny. Do better." She deleted it shortly thereafter, but people still haven't forgotten that Justine was what a lot of people call a rape apologist and a victim blamer. A word to the wise, defending someone against rape or abuse allegations never goes well. It doesn't matter how well you know them. It doesn't matter if they've never treated you that way. If you weren't present for a situation and you don't know anything about it other than the person who's being accused, just stay out of it. But Justine didn't stay out of it, and now that is coming around to backfire on her. After revealing the details of her own experience with abuse just a few days prior, Justine posted a note to her Twitter page on November 18th, apologizing for defending and continuing to be friends with Ian Connor for so long. She wrote, "This is definitely one of the most difficult and dark times that I've experienced, but life is about growth. I'm definitely not afraid to admit my faults, and I agree it shouldn't have to take experiencing abuse to empathize. This has been a tough lesson, but I apologize for the tweet I made a few years ago. I defended someone I considered family at the time, but as a woman, I should never have gotten involved. I apologize for being naive and continuing to be friends with someone who I had to learn wasn't a good person and for sure doesn't give a damn about women. I've always been extremely private about my life, but if I can come about and speak about my situation, I can publicly say that I am sorry to anyone I may have hurt or disappointed." She also posted in a tweet immediately following her apology saying that her and Ian Connor are no longer friends. But Kehlani actually tweeted and deleted some shade about Justine's apology like an hour after, saying, "You shouldn't have to experience abuse as a woman to side with and believe other women about abuse. Please be there for each other. It saves lives." Although I get where Kehlani is coming from, I just think it's a little unnecessary. But I guess that's why Kehlani deleted her tweet so quickly. I personally thought her apology was very sincere, and even though I think Ian Connor is the scum of the earth, I can understand wanting to defend a friend without actually knowing the severity of a situation. But it definitely seems like she learned her lesson and obviously now knows firsthand why she was wrong to assume an alleged victim of rape was making things public for clout. So there's obviously a lot going on here and it's a whole mess. Like I said, Justine hasn't come out and explicitly said that Sheck Wes abused her, but she's strongly alluding to it. She also said in an interview with Madame Noir that the person who did abuse her had done it to multiple other women. So I do hope that some actual repercussions happen toward Wes or toward whoever it is that actually did these terrible things. But of course, I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Do you think that Justine has a responsibility to say publicly who this person is, or is she entitled to her privacy since this is such a traumatic experience? And what do you think of her liking tweets implying that her abuser is Sheck Wes without coming out and saying it? Let me know down below in the comments. Subscribe to the 423 for more videos, and if you enjoyed this one, just give it a quick thumbs up. That is it for today. I will see you guys next time. Bye.